When's the last time you stopped to appreciate a good sunrise? It's Harmless Phosphorescence! Hey, did I catch you fuckers at a bad time? This is Thoreau Smiley, and who is with me today?
It is I, Hominus Nocturnus, a.k.a. Josh Cece.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I live in a sugar-coated taco?
I'm Alaric Weber, and my machinery is rigged to play Credence while I work.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence, your machinery. You mean your phone?
All my machinery, yeah.
All of his machinery.
The podcast.
The gears and whatnot.
This is the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This week we're watching Blade.
You better wake up. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated topping. There is another world beneath it. The real world.
For thousands of years, they have existed among us.
You keep your eyes open. They're everywhere. Chances are you've seen them yourself and didn't know it.
A secret nation.
Our livelihood depends on our ability to blend in.
With a lust for power.
We should be ruling the humans. These people are our food.
They've got their claws into everything. Politics, finance, real estate.
There's a war going on out there. He makes the weapons. I use them.
Now, one will lead them to conquer mankind.
Tonight, the age of man comes to an end.
We're gonna be gods.
And one will try to stop him dead.
There are worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
Half human.
Blade's mother was attacked by a vampire while she was pregnant.
Half immortal.
You got the best of both worlds. All our strengths, none of our weaknesses.
He is their greatest fear and our only hope.
It's open season on all vampires.
Wesley Snipes. Stephen Dorff.
You're one of them, aren't you?
No, I'm something else.
Blade.
So Blade, released August 21st, 1998, with a running time of 120 minutes. Wow, that was almost another birthday one for me. A budget of $45 million. It took in $131.2 million.
Wow, bona fide.
Yeah, it did all right. So for the week of August 21st, 1998, we are going to be playing the Box Office Top 10 game. I had fun last week with where everyone tried to guess the actual the movies from the taglines. So I thought
was a lot of fun. Yeah,
I thought we'd incorporate that in. But so first, where do you think it's going to end up though, number wise? Let's go, Josh first.
Okay. August, you said?
August 21st, 1998.
Yeah, and it made that much money back. I'm going to say number 3.
Okay, Bri.
Totally number 1.
That leaves me in a good spot. I was going to go 2 or 3, so 2. I don't know if it... It wasn't... Blade wasn't a household name.
He's a savvy player.
He was not.
We're just sticking together. So even if we lose, we win.
Yes.
But Wesley Snipes was a household name.
He was indeed.
Yeah,
he was.
I'll bring that Snipes over here.
They turned a common household object into the name Snipes, like Kleenex and Xerox.
Snipes. Sniping is
Well,
You passed me a Snipes.
oh, I'm sorry, but I'm all out of Snipes.
Household name.
The box office top 10 game. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read the taglines of each of the top 10 movies, and you're going to tell me what that movie is. Coming in at number 10. 2 British agents team up to stop Sir August de Winter from destroying the world with a weather-changing machine.
Oh, this is
I love this
The
game.
Avengers?
Yes, the Avengers.
Oh, wow.
Uma and Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that inevitably now is like, no, the other Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forever.
At number 9, identical twins Annie and Holly, separated at birth and each raised by one of their biological parents, later discover each other for the first time at summer camp and make a plan to bring their wayward parents back together.
The remake of The Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Who was in that one?
Lindsay
That was Lindsay
Lohan.
Lohan.
Oh,
yeah.
that was Lindsay before she was a big girl.
Yep, she was only hooked on Flintstone vitamins at that time.
10 million strong and growing.
But it gets darker, folks.
It does. Pretty soon it was Jetsons vitamins.
From the future, though. I mean,
Yeah.
At number 8, Rafael Infante comes to Houston from Cuba to work at John Burnett's dance studio. He meets Ruby Sinclair, a cute dance instructor there. Chemistry? Will John know he's Raphael's dad?
I don't know, but Bart Simpson directed it. That's so goofy and campy. Like a Simpsons. I got no idea.
yeah, no clue.
Dance with Me. And this also stars Chris Christopherson.
Wow.
He's had a big week.
In 1998.
Right. All right. And that opened this week, by the way. Two movies opening. Wow.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Also opening this week, 2 college roommates go out and party, resulting in bad grades. They learn of the clause that says if your roommate dies, you get an A, and decide to find someone who is on the verge, so to speak, to move in with them.
We were just talking about
Bernie's?
We were just talking about this last week.
Yeah.
Dead Man on Campus.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Josh got it.
God damn it, that's what it is.
Starring Zach from Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. Yeah.
And that also opened this week. And number 6, the Brothers Grimm arrive at the home of a wealthy grande dame who speaks of the many legends surrounding the fable of the Cinder Girl before telling the true story of her ancestor.
Was it just the Brothers Grimm?
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint. It goes, tell me a fable.
Ugh. I don't know.
Starring Drew Barrymore.
Oh. Oh. Damn. I know what you mean, but I can't.
It's called Ever After, a Cinderella story.
Ever after, yes.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At number 5, a shady police detective finds himself in the middle of a murder conspiracy at an important boxing match in an Atlantic City casino.
Ooh, Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes. The late 90s were all about Cage.
Yeah, yeah.
We were all feeling a little cagey.
A little cagey.
At number 4, Stella is a highly successful 40-something San Francisco stockbroker who's persuaded by her colorful New York girlfriend Delilah to take a well-deserved first-class vacation to Jamaica.
Come on, guys.
How Stella got her groove back.
Yo, exactly.
It's a historical documentary.
I've seen that.
At number 3, a man gets a chance to meet up with his dream girl from high school, even though his date with her back then was a complete disaster. That's the most vague.
Gross Point Blank.
No. Oh,
No.
good guess, though.
Something about Mary.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Cameron.
I remember when that came out. That was really funny.
Oh my God! I remember seeing it the first night I saw it in the theater. The audience went insane for like a solid hour and a half.
The spooge in the hair joke.
Oh God!
That was just everywhere.
At number, wow, these
Suddenly, grandmas and aunts were like, "Oh, that's what happens." All right.
At number, this top three is hilarious. At number 2, this triple feature. Following the Normandy landings, a group of U.S. soldiers go behind enemy lines to retrieve a paratrooper whose brothers have been killed in action.
Band up.
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan. And at number 1, we have a half vampire, half mortal man becomes a protector of the mortal race while slaying evil vampires. It is Blade.
Wow.
That top 3 triple feature, Blade, Saving Private Ryan, and There's Something About Mary is hilarious.
What a year.
What a week.
What a week. You're right. A week.
That's the box office top 10. It did open at number 1. Blade is a comic book character who does, in fact, exist inside comic books. Mr. Alaric Weber, did you have any information on that?
I do have a little bit of information on that. Let's see. In the comics, Blade was created by writer Marv Wolfman.
Wait, Wolfman created the vampire?
Yeah, exactly. Marv Wolfman and penciler Gene Colan. He's
always like, stop.
But not completely.
Well, let me tell you something.
First appeared in The Tomb of Dracula, number 10, July 1973, as a supporting character. I believe. No, I actually looked it up. I read a couple pages from that. He originally had an afro, and
nice.
He sported teak-bladed knives. That's the wood teak.
Yes.
A la wooden stakes. And why teak, you say? I don't know. It's a high quality wood. It's highly durable, resistant to water, decay, and pests.
You did your wood research, I see.
Just a little bit.
It doesn't burn very easily either, right? Because that's what they make incense burners out of.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Teak.
Yeah. The floor of your VW bus actually is made of teak.
That's right. Oh. That was something only you and I knew.
And now the world.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
now,
nice
now the world.
Well, teak you very much, Al.
Back to Blade. So he fought Morbius in Adventure into Fear, number 24, October 1974. His first solo story was in Vampire Tales, number 8, December 1974. He had a 56-page solo story in Marvel Preview number 3, September 1975. He would not come into prominence until the 90s, appearing in Ghost Rider, Midnight Suns, Morbius, and Night Stalkers. His first color comic series, Blade the Vampire Hunter, numbers 1 through 10, came out July 94 to April 1995. In February 1997, there's a 12-page story in Marvel's Shadow and Light. 1.5? I don't know what I was trying to write there. There's a 6-issue miniseries published between November 98 and May 2000. That's a long time for 6 issues.
Yeah. It is.
Blade Volume 2 was a 6-issue run in 2002, and Blade Volume 3 is a 12-issue run in 2006 to 2007. The character, Eric Stokes Brooks, was born in a whorehouse in Soho, London in 1929.
Wow.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think it was 1967 in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he was a Cockney bootleg.
The attending doctor was the vampire Deacon Frost, who feasted on Mama Tara Brooks, bestowing quasi-vampiric abilities on the child.
Does he still get to call himself a doctor then?
Well,
He swore an oath.
and yeah,
I know he was in disguise.
I'm what like. Did he go to medical school? Get a degree?
Harm?
He's a deacon.
Get hired at a hospital?
Let's see. He grew up to be a master martial artist and swordsman. He would get a bite from Morbius while he was fighting Morbius, the living vampire. This granted Blade with many vampire strengths while eliminating certain vampire weaknesses. Most notably,
so his origin. Pardon me. His origin was tied to Morbius.
It was, yeah.
Wow.
It was like he, the bite from birth was sort of like half of his powers, and then he got the rest from Morbius.
Yeah, so like the activator.
Yeah.
So we have a movie coming up soon with Morbius in it.
We do.
Yeah.
That may be very interesting to see. The Morbius is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Oh, coming soon. I thought you meant on our watch list.
Oh, no.
Yes, I heard they're making. Yeah, right on. All right.
Anyway.
So after the bite from Morbius, he had he did not have the weakness to sunlight, hence the moniker DayWalker. Let's see. I was jumping around a little bit here. He's got enhanced strength, speed, agility, stamina, senses, and healing. Immunity to vampire bites and hypnosis.
And a talent for poetry.
It's got a gift.
And a sweet tooth.
He loves those sugar-coated tacos.
Wait, that'd just be a Choco Taco.
Yeah, if you're in the know.
So he has slowed aging and an ability to sense supernatural creatures. In outside of the comics, he appears in Spider-Man, the animated series around 1994, voiced by J.D. Hall. Short-lived live-action Blade series 2006, portrayed by Sticky Fingers.
I had no idea that existed.
Yeah. I
like.
There was a Marvel anime Blade, in which the English dub, he was voiced by Harold Perrineau.
Oh, yeah, from Lost.
Walt! And, this is my favorite. He was voiced by Terry Crews in episodes of Ultimate Spider-Man and Hulk and the Agents of Smash.
Nice.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
I hope he was like, Blade loves his yogurt.
Let's see. Real quick, Deacon Frost, since it turned out that he was a comic book character too. He was a scientist looking for the key to immortality. He first appeared in The Tomb of Dracula number 13. That was back in October 1973. So that's 3 issues after Blade's first appearance.
Wow.
He was experimenting with vampire blood and was accidentally injected and turned into a vampire.
Oh my God, accidentally injected?
Yeah.
and
That's rough.
experimenting
Yeah.
with vampire blood. It's like,
Yeah, he didn't follow like hazmat precautions.
or just like in high school, I did a lot of experimenting with a lot of stuff. Some of it might have been vampire blood.
A lot of stuff got in there.
There's no way to know.
There's no way to know. More questions than anything.
Whistler.
Yep.
The character of Whistler was not from the comics. He was actually created for this movie.
By Chris
But
Christopherson, I hope.
He walked up and said,
Yeah, he walked up and proposed it to them.
No, he just showed up on
No,
the
just
first day of
started.
filming and just stood around on camera.
yeah, he did not pitch anything. He just walked up.
But no, the character actually first appeared.
Thanks for
in
clearing that up.
You tricked us.
First appeared in the Spider-Man animated series all the way back in November of 1995, voiced by Malcolm McDowell.
Okay.
So yeah, he was created. The characters were created for this movie, but they slipped it into, the cartoon, 3 years prior.
Wow. Huh. All right.
So I guess they just knew this character was going to be a hit.
Yeah.
But Malcolm, it's not for you.
Just wait.
You
The
can do
real
the,
Whistler.
you can do the voice, but can you do the limp?
Only Christopherson can limp like that.
We need a Rhodes Scholar to limp like that.
The patented Christopherson limp. Thank you very much, Al.
Blade.
Oh, this movie was directed by Stephen Norrington, who began his career as a sculptor and makeup artist. He worked with the likes of Dick Smith, Rick Baker, and Stan Winston on a number of well-known effects-driven films of the 80s and 90s, including Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, Aliens.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, that was not a good movie.
No.
Aliens, Witches, and Gremlins. He does not have a whole lot of directing credits to his name. 4. He has directed 4 movies. The first was 1994's Death Machine, the second being Blade. In 2001, he directed something called The Last Minute. And then in 2003, his very last movie he ever made was The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which we will be watching.
Yeah. Wow.
That counts.
Yeah. So during the filming of that, he had such a hard time with Sean Connery that he announced he would never direct another film again.
Wow. Wow.
He was attached to Ghost Rider, the Clash of the Titans remake, and the reboot of Crow, but he
Just like tied to his motorcycle.
yes.
He was attached to Ghost Rider.
But yeah, he never got to make those. This movie was written by David Goyer, who we've spoken about numerous times and who we will speak about numerous times again, at least to mention that he wrote the movies, which we've already talked about him writing.
Yeah.
But so Marvel Studios began developing this film as early as 1992. At that time, LL Cool J was attached to play the lead role. That didn't pan out. Then got sent over to New Line Cinemas. And apparently New Line wanted to do Blade as like a spoof, kind of a like Austin-y Powers thing, but with vampires.
What?
Yeah. He convinced
Blaxploitation joke.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe kind of like I'm going to get you, sucker, something like that.
Yeah.
But Goyer convinced them to do it straightforwardly. He was originally so Wesley Snipes came aboard because he was at New Line trying to get a Black Panther film into production.
Yeah.
But
and just nobody was into that, or
Yeah.
he wasn't a big enough name, or
yeah, Black Panther, he couldn't get it going. So apparently there were a couple problems. Is that Black Panther wasn't a well-known enough hero for the 90s. They felt he was too niche, which is, a polite way of saying
Too black.
yeah. And apparently he apparently had to explain over and over again that it was not a movie about a 60s counterculture movement.
right?
So
Yeah. Oh, the Black Panthers.
yeah, exactly. So eventually
Especially in the early 90s. I could see that being a pain in the ass.
oh, for sure.
Or mid or late 90s.
They also they realized at some point that technologically they wouldn't be capable of portraying Wakanda in an accurate light. Like
Yeah.
they just didn't have the movie making technology to do what they did with Black Panther.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Exactly.
Right.
Well,
African Cloud City.
and Wesley Snipes did in fact bring it to both Spike Lee and John Hughes. Not John Hughes. John Hughes. Not John Hughes.
John
Singleton. Singleton, thank you. John Singleton.
Yeah.
And John Hughes. And John Waters.
And he brought to John Hughes just to be
Shermer, Illinois.
safe. Yeah, that's where Black Panther takes place.
And John Waters.
Just to mix it up.
Only Johns. So, all right. So when he did first pitch Blade, Snipes tried to get attached immediately, but he was up for the role against Denzel Washington and Lawrence Fishburne. Denzel apparently Fishburne. I am the
Fishborn.
I am the Fishborne.
I am Aquaman.
He's Goliath, actually.
Patrick McGugan was the first choice to play Whistler.
Naturally.
From
whoever that is.
He was from The Prisoner, the 1967 The Prisoner.
Okay.
Mark Singer was considered for the role. Jet Li was offered the role of Deacon Frost, but opted instead to do Lethal Weapon 4. Right? That would have been crazy.
That would, wow.
Mark Wahlberg.
Although I'm fine with Dorf.
Right? No, but Mark Wahlberg was also considered for the role.
Oh, God.
As a vampire.
I'd be like,
I'm just going to kick your ass.
All right, I'm just going to do that, guys.
Wearing a fucking wife beater the entire time.
Looking confused.
Yeah. Just his character from the other guys. Just hostile.
Stan Lee.
Did he also bring the Funky Bunch?
They were the vampires.
Yeah, the vampire army.
Guaranteed cameo. Oh, man. If they were on speaking terms, I don't know how that shit works.
The Funky Bunch never forgave him for selling out.
For not mentioning them. It all came down to one moment. He's like, here's the contract, Marky. Now, is there anybody else? No.
That wants to be in this underwear commercial with you?
Not my brother Donnie. Not the Funky Bunch. Nobody.
It's just me, Mark.
I thought they were just upset because he never mentioned them every time he was on television, period. Like he had to be in a movie and be like, yeah, it's real sad. But you ever listen to the Funky Bunch?
The Funky Bunch definitely.
What if they had a contract where they were required to be in the movies with him?
I was just going to say that the Funky Bunch didn't have the same lawyer that Arsenio Hall had to get into every Eddie movie ever. The Funky Bunch is like, damn, we should have gotten that deal somehow.
All 7 of us.
Yeah, I don't know if they look like or how many there are.
Well, we could have been in Ted.
We could have been in Ted. Trying to
man, he could have thrown the backbone at least.
We could have been in several of the Transformers movies.
They could have been 7 of the apes. On that planet. On that planet with all the apes.
Man.
Chris Christopherson was in that.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's insane trying to figure out a way for 9 different people to have something to say in a scene.
And they have to be in every scene with him.
Equal screen time.
Hey, Marky, I think it's the trees that's killing everybody.
What do you think?
Remember, Marky Mark, wasn't he on What's Happening?
What's happening? M. Night Shyamalan's What's Happening?
Wasn't he?
I don't remember.
All right, I'm sorry.
Okay. Stanley.
Wait, was he in those? He was in those movies. He was in Shyamalan's
No,
movies.
The Happening.
Right.
The Happening.
He was in The Happening, the plant one. The fucking...
Oh,
yeah.
Stanley shot a cameo for Blade.
No, it wasn't in there?
It got cut. He played a cop that came into the Blood Club.
No.
Let's see. As we said, on July 20th, 2019, Marvel Studios announced a Blade reboot set in the MCU with Mahershala Ali starring as Blade.
That's a great casting.
Oh, that's great casting. From what I heard, he just came to them and said, "Hey, can I be Blade?" And they were like, "Sure."
Yeah, he has a sort of reserved, quiet power. Yeah. Yeah, that is how deals go now.
just like that. He doesn't even have representation. He just walks into a room.
With a sign,
man.
My
Just
idea,
a poster board that he painted.
my idea of how deals get made is the same as my idea of how movies get made. Of like, well, we know a guy with some stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
The soundtrack managed to make it to number 36 on the Billboard 200 in the U.S. and number 16 on the top 100 albums in Germany. It spawned 4 singles: Wreck the Discotheque, Reservations, Deadly Zone, and Half and Half. Wreck the Discotheque peaked at number 42 on the Hot Dance Music Club. The Blade soundtrack was certified.
Any band names we would recognize?
It's a lot of DJs.
Oh.
If Mark Wahlberg was involved, they could have put Good Vibrations on here too.
Yeah.
Instead of that Blade song that plays at the beginning in the club.
They really should have brought Mark Wahlberg in as a script doctor on this.
Yeah, man.
Bring me the Funky Bunch. Assembled.
Assemble the Funky Bunch.
Set this film in Boston.
Yeah, exactly. Near my brother's burger joint, and we could just eat there.
This movie did star Wesley Snipes as Eric Brooks / Blade. So he began his film career in 1985. He was discovered by an agent while performing in a competition. I did not find out what kind of competition it was. It could have been anything.
Anything. Just a little
Juggling.
something I call the swimsuit competition.
Wesley Snipes used to do ballet.
Oh, it's probably dance. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. That was one of the things I read about the Black Panther movie, just because like him in tights.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, just put me in tights. That's all you need. I'm built.
He's all, I dare you.
I've got dancer's legs.
Sorry, I can't come into work today. I've got dancer's legs. Hey, but he was in a movie with Patrick Swayze, who's also a ballet dancer.
Yeah,
I wonder if they did any ballet fighting.
I bet
Off camera.
in between scenes, yeah, just pirouetting at each other.
At
So-
each other.
Is that anything like restless leg syndrome?
I wonder.
Yeah.
Dance leg.
You wake up and your legs are just tapping.
Doing that old soft shoe.
His film debut was in the 1986 Goldie Hawn vehicle Wildcats.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the football team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He did a guest spot on Miami Vice, and then he appeared as Michael Jackson's nemesis in Bad, which was directed by Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese, yeah. He's a nemesis.
He tried out for the role of Geordie LaForge.
Wow.
No word on whether he got it. His Spike Lee liked him in Bad, so he offered him a role in Do the Right Thing, which he turned down in order to be in Major League.
All right, Major League, of course.
Yeah, that was kind of his the beginning of his starring turns. That he did Mo Better Blues, King of New York, New Jack City, Jungle Fever, White Men Can't Jump with Woody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where I really started to know who he was.
You're all, who's this fella?
Who can jump so much that when Woody Harrelson can't. Passenger 57, Boiling Point, Rising Sun, Demolition Man.
Woo.
Yeah, that one, man. Let's see, Drop Zone. Oh, To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
Yeah, that was the Swayze one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And John Leguizamo.
And John
Yes.
Leguizamo.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow, yeah.
Also known as the Violator.
Money Train, Waiting to Exhale, The Fan, Murder at 1600. And then he was in U.S. Marshals, the sequel to The Fugitive.
Oh, I didn't know that was a sequel.
Yeah, Tommy Lee played the same character.
Oh, that's okay.
It starred N'Bushe Wright. I am sorry if I said the first name incorrectly. A hematologist who is bitten by a vampire. But what does someone that studies lizards have to do with vampires? So she was in a bunch of stuff throughout the 90s. Dead Presidents. A whole lot of movies no one ever heard of. Yeah, Dead Presidents and Blade are like the two biggest things she ever did. Stephen Dorff.
Well, she's a big disappointment to all of us.
Yes. Stephen Dorff.
Dorff.
Who's much taller than he looks in his golf videos.
Damn it.
I always got you off.
Beat me to the punch. The Tim Conway. Yeah, Dorff on golf.
Stephen Dorff on golf.
Just falling forward and then back up.
I'm just imagining him dressed how he is in Blade, all pale and like 90s gaunt, doing golf.
But doing the Tim Conway bit.
Yeah.
Dorff.
Oh. Right. So his start was in a movie called The Gate in 1987. He was in Judgment Night in 93. 94, he played Stuart Sutcliffe, the fifth Beatle in Backbeat. That was a decent movie.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, the good soundtrack. SFW was his big starring turn. Let's see. He was in I Shot Andy Warhol, Space Truckers, Blood and Wine, City of Industry. After Blade, he was in the new Leave It to Beaver. Jeez.
What?
Oh, no. No, this. Okay, so in television, he was in the new Leave It to Beaver in 1985.
When he was a kid? Or
when he was a kid, yeah.
I just pictured grown-up Dorff as like Eddie Haskell. It's like, he's all, this cigarette has been laced with PCP, Beaver. Give it a shot.
So Beaver. Yeah. So Beaver. Leave It to Beaver. So yeah.
Leave it.
No, in the 80s he was in a bunch of sitcoms. New Leave It to Beaver, Different Strokes, Empty Nest, Married with Children, Roseanne, The Father Dowling Mysteries.
Tom Bosley.
Something called Do You Know the Muffin Man?
Jesus.
I do indeed.
Let me introduce you.
Chris Christopherson played Abraham Whistler. So he.
Steven Dorff was also he was peddling the blue e-cigarettes way back in 2012, 2011, something like that. He was the super douchey e-cigarette commercials.
That's right.
He was a pioneer of vaping.
Chris Christopherson, better known as a musician, songwriter than an actor. He wrote Me and Bobby McGee for the Good Times, Sunday Morning Coming Down, Help Me Make It Through the Night. He collaborated with people like Shel Silverstein, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash.
Barbra Streisand,
yes,
Wesley Snipes, and he rearranged that his most famous hit for this movie, Me and Lady McGee.
He started acting in the 70s. He was in Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. He did not do the soundtrack for that though. Mr. Robert Zimmerman did that one. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. In 70
in Tucson.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. In 1976, he starred in A Star Is Born. He got a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor for that. He was in a bunch of other stuff. Let's see, The Duck in 1978. Heaven's Gate, Flashpoint, Big Top Pee-wee. And Millennium. Do you guys remember that about like the airplane crash? People went to another dimension or something.
Well, no, I don't.
Yeah, that movie was crazy. He let's see, he played Gabriel in the 1993 film Nights, and in 96 he starred in Lone Star opposite Matthew McConaughey. He was in spoiler alert, all 3 Blade movies. So apparently he's just fine despite what we saw on screen.
Jesus. And he's one of the mortal guys.
Yes. Well, because we never actually saw him commit suicide, so apparently he just took the gun and fired off into the distance.
He's all...
He forgot to mention that he's a really bad shot.
He fell into a vat of ice cream.
He was in the 2009 romantic comedy opposite Jennifer Aniston. He's just not that into you.
So was he the one that was not that into her?
I would assume so, but possibly not the same one from the title.
Wait, that's Christopherson still?
Yeah, Chris Christopherson was. I'm just not that into you. He was also in A Dolphin Tale and Dolphin Tale 2.
Okay, those make a little more sense, but he's not that into you. He's not that aware of what's going on. 70.
In 2015, he played U.S. President Andrew Jackson in the historical miniseries Texas Rising.
Whoa.
Yes. Donald Logue played Quinn, the redhead dude from what is that sitcom called?
Grounded for Life.
Grounded for Life. Thank you. I kept wanting to say Get a Life. He was in Sneakers in 92. Let's see, the 1994 version of Little Women. 3 Ninjas Knuckle Up. Yes. He was in Jerry Maguire, Diabolique, The Thin Red Line, Runaway Bride, and mostly known for Grounded for Life.
The Tao of Steve.
Tao of Steve.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a decent little indie.
He was also in 7 episodes of Sons of Anarchy, and he, up until it ended, he portrayed Harvey Bullock in Gotham.
Sure did.
Huh. Good for him.
Yeah, I've always liked him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's always been fine. I thought he was really good in this one for the character he was playing.
Yeah, sure.
Udo Kier played Gaetano Dragonetti, the vampire elder. He is a German character actor with over 200 movies to his credit, and I will now name all of them. No. So, some highlights include, his first one was Road to St. Tropez in 1966. He was in Shameless, Flesh for Frankenstein, Blood for Dracula. Those are two separate movies. My favorite.
At least he's fair.
In 1976, he starred in Spermula.
No, fair.
And then 1978, The Fifth Commandment. I'm not sure which one that is. I assume one of the good ones. He starred Moscow on the Hudson in 1984, the Robin Williams movie. Epidemic. And then in the 90s, he started getting a lot of American work. My Own Private Idaho, even For Love or Money, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, Ace Ventura Pet Detective, Johnny Mnemonic, Barb Wire, Breaking the Waves, Armageddon.
Wow.
The 2000, he was in Shadow of the Vampire. And 2003, he was in Dogville. And he was in the 2007 Halloween reboot, the Rob Zombie one.
Yeah.
Let's see, Melancholia. My God, the list just keeps going and going and going. His most recent movie in this year was The Last Moment of Clarity.
He did 4 episodes of Beware the Batman as Mr. Toad between 2013 and 14.
All right.
Yeah.
Just some more superhero cred.
Yeah, for sure. He will beware the Toad. Sana Lathan as Vanessa Brooks, Blade's mom. She is mostly known as a voice actress. She played Donna Tubbs on The Cleveland Show and Family Guy. Let's see. She's been in a ton of stuff. The Best Man, and The Best Man Holiday, Love and Basketball, Brown Sugar, Alien versus Predator, Contagion.
Alien versus Best Man.
Yes. Contagion and Now You See Me Too. I'm still pissed off it wasn't called Now You Don't.
She also really recently, she was the voice of Catwoman in Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay.
My life is amazing. She's great.
And yeah, you breezed over Alien versus Predator. She was a badass bitch in that movie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I saw it once. I barely remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember her.
She kicked ass.
Nice. Arlie Jover played Mercury. That was Stephen Dorff's girlfriend. She's in a bunch of stuff no one ever really heard of. Except the biggest one outside of Blade would have been The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in 2011. Kevin Patrick Walls played Officer Krieger, the familiar, the cop who with the blood. He played boyfriend Steve in Scream. The guy was tied to the chair at the beginning in Drew Barrymore's backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Then Tim Guinea is Dr. Curtis Webb, who was Karen's ex-boyfriend. He was in like every cop procedural and doctor show for the last 25 years. And last but not least, and barely more than a cameo, Tracy Lords as Raquel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She got billing in the opening titles, but yeah, she goes down pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, real fast. So Tracy Lords, for those of you who don't know, used a fake ID to conceal the fact that she was only 16 years old when she started making porn in the 1980s. When the FBI acted on an anonymous tip, the distributors were forced to withdraw and destroy all of the videotapes and images that she was in, quite rightfully and obviously so. that there was a huge thing that was huge in the news. I remember
Yeah.
learned that porn came in movies from that. I don't know. Anyways, there is one porn which she made at the age of 18, 3 days after turning 18, and 2 days after quitting the porn industry. 2 days before quitting the porn industry. She made her film debut in the 1988 remake of the Roger Corman film, Not of This Earth. She was in John Waters' movie Crybaby. She did a bunch of TV, Married with Children, Tales from the Crypt, Roseanne, Melrose Place, Gilmore Girls, Will and Grace. She was in, Virtuosity, Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Her most recent film was 2012's Excision. She also had a movie career. Her song Love Never Dies was featured on the soundtrack for Pet Sematary 2. Her debut studio album 1000 Fires in 1995 garnered positive reviews. Despite poor sales, the lead single Control had moderate commercial success, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot Dance Club Songs chart. And it was on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. This movie was reviewed by Cisco.
Oh wait,
yes.
Did you guys catch Kevin Bacon?
What?
What?
Yeah, he wasn't in this movie. That was just one.
God damn it. Blade has 55% of Rotten Tomatoes. A little low, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
And it was reviewed by Siskel and Ebert.
Blade joins a recent group of comic book superheroes who have been brought to the big screen. Batman and Superman, of course, come to mind, and also The Crow, The Phantom, The Mask, Spawn, The Men in Black. Who have I left out?
I'm waiting for Archie and Jughead.
Oh, Archie, I'd like to see Veronica
Good.
in particular.
Yeah,
yes,
okay, and
on
Betty.
the big screen.
Yeah, I
yes.
like Veronica better.
Okay.
Always brunettes, never blondes.
Very good. In this film, Wesley Snipes brings menace and a certain vulnerability to the role of Blade, which is in the spirit of a comic book with extreme camera angles, simple but strong relationships, a colorful villain, martial arts, a secret laboratory, and, of course, the obligatory apocalyptic conflict at the end. It's a good-looking picture. It has high energy, and the vampire stuff adds just enough detail to give the movie texture. I liked it.
I did too. High energy might be an understatement.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
you know.
But this is focused energy,
Exactly.
unlike Armageddon,
That's what I was
which was all over the map. This is targeted.
That is exactly where I was leading to. That was the comparison I made. At times, it is as noisy. There's enough camera cutting as Armageddon, but this picture has a sensibility to it.
Yes,
it is
does.
consistent.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And, if you like effects, check this one out.
So, I have to agree. I feel like in a lot of ways, this is like the most modern film we've done yet. I mean, and it literally is the most modern film we've done yet. But comparing it feels like more like something from the 2000s than from the same era as like Batman and Robin and some of the others.
And this was Marvel's first blockbuster film.
Yeah, the first hit Marvel ever had.
Yeah.
They'd only made two movies previously. We did them both, Howard the Duck and The Punisher.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
Right. So yeah, this kicked off.
Well, yeah, it was because it did well, and yeah.
Well, and it really kicked off an era of Marvel movies. I mean, they weren't, MCU level movies, but some were pretty good and some were not.
And I think it's the first time we see Avi Arad's name pop up in the credits.
Yeah, definitely, because we talked about this on Batman. He'd only been involved in the Marvel industry for a few years.
Right.
And the success of this movie led directly to the production of like Spider-Man and others that weren't as good.
Daredevil.
Fantastic Four.
Oh.
We don't talk about the Fantastic Four.
Oh, we will. All three of them, Brian. We'll get there.
I don't think I've seen any of them all the way through. But we will.
We will.
Right.
So, you guys ready to break on through to the other side? I don't know why I went with the Doors lyric. You guys ready?
Yeah.
To get down?
Yeah, man. It's open season on all suckheads.
Yeah.
And here we go. This is Blade. We open in 1967, the summer of love. Blade's birthday. His mom is having a rough day, though. What with giving birth the same day she got bit by a vampire and all. We cut to a couple in a car. She's flirty. He's trashy. They go to a meat processing facility, as young lovers do. Apparently, his name is Dennis. They run across an Eastern European tough guy cliche and then enter the rave cave. It's an underground club, but after his date immediately ditches him, Dennis ain't feeling the vibe. Sexy vampire man bumps into him, and Dennis is ready to go when the blood begins pouring out of the sprinkler system, which seems like a health code violation to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And, how long... So water in sprinkler systems is notorious for smelling terrible because it sits there for years. I have to wonder what state that blood was in.
Yeah.
Well, they probably do the sprinkler thing every night, being the vampire rave that it is. But
That's true.
it's like, okay, imagine being at just a normal human rave and just like beer coming out of the sprinklers.
Yeah. Or MDMA.
Or vodka. Just, yeah.
It's burning my eyes.
It's not great.
I'm flammable.
Even if it's something you drink, I don't think you want it all over you.
Why would you want it all over you?
Yeah, I don't even want water all over me in that situation.
No.
Maybe water. So, yeah, it's clearly a meatpacking plant, and then they go into the place, and then they go into that other chamber. I know that the logical conclusion would be that's the killing floor, but it was way far away. I don't know. It didn't seem like it seemed more like a bathhouse that they were in once they went in through the deep freeze cooler.
Well, yeah, no, it's like it's
right?
Or
do they take a cow all the way down there?
No. I
step by step.
No, it's like the vampire. I got the idea. It's like the vampire equivalent of like a, it's an underground club, but obviously, like I felt like the killing was above, and that's how it came down through the sprinklers.
Oh, all right.
I don't know.
That's
later on, head vampire guy gets mad at Steven Dorff for throwing the raves, saying that they're too dangerous. So, like, clearly, I don't know.
Oh, to have them all congregated together.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah. But then earlier, Dennis sees like through the plastic, like what looks like human corpses instead of just cow corpses being hung. So it seems that the vampires own the slaughterhouse and are using it to also kill humans as well as sell beef at a reasonable profit.
Yeah. Maintain their daily delivery schedule. Yeah. And the cops knew where to come.
I watched a deleted scene where Steven Dorff had living humans in big plastic bags. He was like, that was his blood harvesting operation.
Okay.
That cut scene was from way later in the movie, but still that might have been part of the humans in plastic.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the humans in plastic in this scene, so yeah, that tracks. All right, so Dennis freaks out. He's about to get beaten and eaten when who would appear but your friendly neighborhood Blade.
The DayWalker.
The DayWalker. Yeah. He kills a bunch of
name.
Yeah. With a name like Blade, he's got to be tough. Blade
the DayWalker.
The DayWalker.
That's a cool name.
It is. Blade kills a bunch of vampires and gets into a face-off with Quinn, the vampire shift manager at the rave. He kills the lackeys and staples Quinn to the wall, lighting him on fire. Blade saves Dennis and disappears as the cops and firefighters arrive.
The silver bladerang was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think that was featured on the cover and the posters.
Yeah.
So Quinn arrives charred to a crisp at the hospital or morgue or someplace with people in lab coats and scrubs. And the doctor that takes him in shows Karen, the blood scientist lady that he used to date, the blood of Quinn, which is weird blood for some reason.
It's impossible blood.
It's like the Impossible Burger. Wow. Why didn't vampires just look for a plant protein alternative? As they're looking over the corpse, Quinn wakes up, bites ex-boyfriend and Karen, and takes Karen hostage. So then Blade shows up, cuts off Quinn's hand in the first of a 3-beat, and Quinn escapes to vamp another day. The cops show up, and Blade takes Karen and flees out a window, taking her back to a secret hideout. That was pretty cool.
When they shoot him, when the cops shoot Blade, he's just like, "Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?"
Yes.
And that kind of set the tone for this movie. There was I don't know, rated R. There's a lot of profanity in this.
Yeah. If it wasn't for, it would be our hardest R yet if it wasn't for last week's Orgasmo.
Yeah. This movie could have used some DVD.
Woo! I thought it looked really cool when he threw her out of the window onto the building next door. I think the effects there really held up.
Yeah, it did. When he tossed her across the alleyway or across the street. Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, for 22 years
One of many
old.
scenes that like barely predated The Matrix, doing a lot of these same scenes and looks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but did in fact predate The Matrix. For sure.
Yeah, by about, I think it was like 6 months or something. But yeah, the jumping out of the window. I mean, of course, the leather and the sunglasses and all that stuff. But
there was definitely something in the air with the desaturated leather trench coats and sunglasses.
And there's the scene. There's the scene later with Steven Dorff when he dodges the bullets. It was very Matrix-like.
Yeah, that one didn't hold up as well. With the CGI bullets, it was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
Could have been worse.
So back at Blade's hideout, we're introduced to Whistler, Blade's crusty gadget-making sidekick. Whistler gives Karen an injection of some sort of vampsine in the hope it will stop her from turning into a vampire. He gives her a 50-50 shot. Thank you. Thank you, folks. I'll be here all week. Meanwhile, in yet another big evil boardroom, there's been so many bad guy meetings in these movies.
Bad guy meetings. Many. What a drag.
Right.
Dude, this is not just a bad guy meeting. This is the Council of Erebus.
Yeah, the Vampire Nation, as they refer to it later.
Yeah.
The Vampire Nation?
The Vampire Nation.
Which one are they asking for?
Yeah, so you spend so much time like killing humans and like creating mayhem just to have to go to another goddamn meeting.
Exactly. Any henchman meeting or bad guy meeting. It's like, I thought that's why I'm with the bad guys, because anarchy is our thing. I thought that the good guys were the squares having meetings all the time.
Like, have you ever tried to organize world domination, damn it?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I've tried to do group work with 4 other people before.
It takes spreadsheets.
This is a big organization. This is worldwide. They got to bribe all the cops and the lawyers and the government and whatnot. They're not just rogue criminals. They're like deeply tied into the world structure. Yeah.
It can't be all dark alleys and blood raves.
No, it just can't. It's also got to be civic duties.
Stop throwing those raves.
Right. Yeah, they're pissed about the vampire pureblood elders are pissed about the Blade raid on the rave. Thank you. They call Frost.
Blade raid on the rave.
They call Frost.
He was very brave, but grave.
They call Frost, the vampire promoter in charge of the event, in to tell him off.
Yep.
However, despite getting all racist towards him for not being a pureblood, he's pretty laissez-faire about the whole deal and makes some vague threats at them.
Yeah, so the other guy was born a vampire. I know they've said that
all
the vampires.
All 12 of them were purebloods.
Yeah, so how exactly do you get born a vampire?
Right.
Other than how Blade did it.
They said that vampires age slower. Somebody mentioned that in this movie, so they covered their ass, but I had never heard that before, that they aged at all. I heard the opposite, that I don't know. They don't age. Yeah, right. They don't age at all.
Well, I mean,
they're stuck whenever they were turned. So how does born?
Well, even that aside, does that mean
vampires did it?
Yeah, exactly. So vampires can have sex and then have a baby in their womb, which comes out of the girl vampire's vagina. Like, really?
Yeah, that's how babies work. But I'm wondering how vampire babies are made.
No, because I mean, if you bite a baby, it's just going to stay a baby.
Well, aging, but then also, so like they age slower. So it's a baby for like 30 years. Yeah, so it's like a baby for like 30 years, and then like, but still, vampires can have kids. That's crazy.
They can age. Yeah, have kids. That's weird. Yeah, that they're not.
I couldn't find a lot of background on this. It was sort of last minute, but they did have like on the DVD they had different descriptions of the 11 houses, the House of Arab. The 12 council members. Apparently, 2 of them are twins. But so each of the families they have like different vampire traits that they're just a little bit different from just straight vampires. So somebody came up with a lore for all this.
Wow!
Right, they all have different names for long sandwiches,
but they could.
I call it a hero. I call it a submarine.
But they couldn't explain to us how vampires have babies.
Yeah.
No, that was a little bit too technical.
All right.
I wish she would move out of the house. It's been 400 years.
All right. We see Blade making a few bucks off corpse robbing. Apparently, vampires love watches. Then Karen wakes up, finds Blade's cool sword, complete with theft deterrent, and sneaks out to eavesdrop on Blade and Whistler. She sees Whistler help Blade shoot up. Then they notice her. They tell her vampires are real. She might turn into one. She's definitely going to be hunted by them now, and she should probably get out of town. They give her a vampire mace.
When Whistler is giving Blade the serum, he's strapped down to the chair. I guess maybe it's because Blade just called him old man, but the way that he grabs his face, it was just like so violent and like stuffs the mouth guard in.
Yeah.
It's like,
look here, you little shit.
Yeah. It was very reminiscent of torture. I don't know.
I think that's fair.
Like not giving medicine.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Frost goes down to the Vampire Smithsonian where he's listening to techno and trying to translate ancient vampire texts. He exchanges tense words with the vampire head of the board, who backs down. It's just him with his earbuds.
So he's in the library. There's a vampire library.
Yes.
What?
With the internet, apparently.
Yeah. It's not an oral tradition among the people who've lived forever.
No. It's
like I forgot what we said that one time.
Don't worry, it's on microfiche.
Exactly. Their conversation.
Back at Blade Lair, there's a quick shot of Whistler gassing up the charger. And he just spilling gas all over the place, like,
and smoking.
He turns on the gas, then puts it into the the tank, and then lights up his cigarette. It's just, it was very careless. I'm surprised he's lived this long. He's not careful.
Obviously sheer luck.
Yeah.
And he's angry about it too.
So Blade.
And the man loves his Cretans.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, we know that is true.
Blade drops Karen off at her apartment where she's followed by some vampire groupies. She gets inside but doesn't lock her door, which works out great when she's attacked by a guy in a cop costume who's a vampire familiar. Blade.
Yeah, he's not in a cop costume. He's a cop.
Same thing.
I mean,
Same thing.
He's in a cop costume. He's not a real cop. He's an actor.
But even,
He's
people
an actor in
say
a movie
uniform so they
Blade.
feel better. It's all a costume. That's a cop costume. Like a Superman costume.
All the world's a stage.
Yeah, exactly. And Lloyd Kaufman is directing.
Right. And cops are merely their players. Blade shows up, beats the guy up. The guy runs away after they discover he has some blood in his trunk. Karen's pissed that Blade used her as bait.
Doctor, I have some blood in my trunk.
She got blood in the trunk.
She got
that blood in the trunk. That makes me go crazy.
Super Mix-a-Lot's first draft.
Oh man, blood.
Karen's
so much blood in this movie.
So much.
There really is.
Karen's pissed that Blade used her as bait because Blade's after Frost and the cop's working for him. They stake out the cop car. Blade tells her he's looking for a cure for his vampirism. Cop shows up and they follow him to a vampire club that caters specifically to Japanese businessmen vampires that like schoolgirl hip hop. It's a specific demographic.
Yeah, but
that band was awesome.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, they were.
I meant to Google who they were because they were amazing.
Oh, it reminded me of Baby Metal. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Baby Metal.
Yeah, very much like Baby Metal.
I'm not sure that
they
those
were called.
I'm not sure that those Japanese businessmen were actually vampires. I think they were just perverts.
That could be.
They were so.
I know that live.
They were sitting so blank-facedly, just like we are watching these girls rap, and that is all we're doing.
That is all we do. Yeah, that was the band was called Bangwa Cherry.
Oh, wow. All right. I'm gonna have to listen to them some more. So Blade beats up Cop Man and sends him on his way to Frost after he reveals the secret vampire tunnels underneath the building, where they go down to find the secret vampire computers.
Yeah, and this is a line. I'm sorry. This is a line from Goyer's script. Some kind of archive might be where they store important documents.
Might be.
You said it in the first sentence, lady. It's like, it's a bathroom. A place where they go to the
bathroom. Cop shows up at Frost's vampire penthouse where they're having a vampire party with a now healed Quinn. It's everything's a vampire, whatever the thing is to me in this movie.
Party.
I'm surprised he didn't have vampire rubber ducks in the pool. Right. He did have a bunch of rubber ducks in the pool / waterfall.
That's right.
Yeah. And I just wanted to point out, this is a good time. The first rubber ducks emerged in the late 19th century, made from vulcanized rubber, did not float, and were intended as chew toys. In the 1940s, Peter Ganin patented his duck sculpture and reproduced it as a floating toy, selling over 50 million toys.
Yeah.
And that is a rubber duck fact.
You guys can't hear duck facts. We're on Skype.
That's a shame.
But it's there. The listeners will hear it.
The world will know.
We live for that sound, though.
Yeah. Haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit. I'll play it for you later. I don't know how.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. I think I might have it. Oh, too quiet.
No, I heard it.
It was perfect.
Those were fun facts.
Okay. Yeah, Frost is too.
We have to do this for our own amusement as much as our listeners.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, for sure. So Frost is too busy doing his homework in his insane bedroom.
And two female characters, they speak to each other during the party, but it's, hey, where's Frost?
It's about a guy. They were so close.
Yeah.
Specifically. Where is he?
So his bedroom, which I'm pretty sure used to be a sharper image. Then the cop tells Frost about Blade, and Frost kills him. He really should have seen that coming. Then he tells Quinn that he wants Blade alive.
Yep.
Meanwhile, underground, Blade and Karen find an obese, disgusting, blood-sucking...
He's got a great point.
What's that?
Just the whole, you want us to get him alive? We've been trying to kill him for years. You just decided now?
Yeah, right?
They've been trying to kill him for years, and just then he decided that they wanted to use him for this blood right thing.
Well, that's because he just decoded it. Then, at the party.
Oh, that's true. He did just decode the whole thing.
And I was like, oh, shit, I need Blade. So
it's a good thing we didn't kill him.
Previously to this.
Yeah. Glad we failed all of those times.
Then meanwhile, underground, Blade and Karen find an obese, disgusting, blood-sucking monster. It's not Trump, it's Pearl, a vampire historian / hacker.
Pearl.
Which is apparent. I thought Pearl was a female vampire. According to the Blade Wiki, Pearl is a male.
Yeah, they referred to him.
Yeah,
to him.
They torture him into revealing that Frost has been working on making a prophecy come true that says that a god of blood will come forth. They blow open a vault door and kill Pearl. Inside, they find many hanging parchments that are a vampire holy text.
The name of the blood god is La Magra, which I looked up in Spanish. It came up as it translated as the lean, but in Italian it was the skinny one.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. They're captured.
And that's a Magra fact.
They're captured by a group of vampires led by Quinn, but they're rescued by Whistler, who blows his way in through the wall. They escape into the subway tunnel, but are followed by a horde of bloodsuckers. A bomb they left in the secret vampire C-scroll room goes off, kills a bunch of the vamps, and knocks Whistler into the subway train. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Because I rewound it and watched it several times. He literally just drops out of frame and is gone for 20 minutes. And all Blade says is...
They have a quick shot of Karen when she fell down. There's a quick shot. She's looking underneath the train that's going by, and Whistler is descending into the tunnel on the other side to indicate that he's safe.
Oh, I totally did not see that.
Yeah, that was like a good 2 or 3 minutes after he fell himself.
Wow.
Well, he was christened and Christopherson and right and left.
So they dodge trains and fight Quinn, who's the last vamp left. Blade cuts off his other hand. 2 beats. And Quinn bravely runs away.
That's my good hand. In that it's the only one that's left.
Another group of vamps show up, and Blade grabs onto the subway train to escape them. That looked cool. On the train, Blade has to inject himself, and Karen asks if he's a vampire. He says, no.
So
not as such.
At this point, Blade dislocates his shoulder. We didn't mention before when Blade tosses her off the building that she dislocated her shoulder.
Yeah.
But she took the relocation of the shoulder a lot better than he did. Like, she just barely grunted, and he like howled a little bit.
Right.
Like, you're half a vampire. Suck it up.
So we fade to black, and then we hear Whistler telling Karen about Blade's backstory. He tells her he found Blade as a child, that his mother was bit while he was still in her, that garlic, sunlight, and silver don't hurt him, but they do hurt other vampires. And although he ages like a human and needs blood, the serum is supposed to suppress that urge, but he's growing immune to it. Then Whistler tells her that about his own family getting killed by vampires. Then she and Blade have the whole "I'm a monster, no you're not" talk.
He's not affected by sunlight, but he is by words.
Yes. Meanwhile, back at...
He's affected by your attitude.
Yeah. Yes, you say mean things.
And dislocated shoulders.
Yeah.
That's true. The other thing.
Meanwhile, back at Frost's bitchin' pad, Quinn misses his hand, and Frost...
Yeah, he's like, you can find us at the Edgewood Tower. It's just so much, I don't know. Like, are they apartments? Is it a hotel? Do the people know those are all vampires up on the top floor?
Could you imagine, like, living, like underneath them, kind of like banging on the roof with a broom? Like, all hours of the night.
God damn it. He's all, I'm registered under the name Frostilicus. But come on up, we're pre-gaming in the
This would make a good sitcom.
Yeah, totally. It's an old hotel. They're a bunch of gothy vampires. And Cheech Marin.
So, yeah, Quinn misses his hand. Frost tells him they have plans. They murder the head of the company in what can only be described as a hostile takeover. And apparently vampires can go out in the day with sunscreen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do they have to like rub sunblock in their hair, on their scalp, and like on their teeth and their eyeballs and on their tongue?
Yeah. I wonder.
Like get around your eyeballs.
Yeah. Just all get all up in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I wonder.
Yeah.
Because he was out in the sun for quite a while when he was confronting Blade a little later.
A little bit later, he was like out in direct sunlight. This was almost believable because the sun was just coming up. They're on the beach, and just before the sun comes up fully, they like put on the biker helmets with the visors and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, later Deacon Frost, he's like full out in sunlight with that little girl talking to Blade.
Yeah,
just in the middle of the day,
fast and loose.
Just real fast and loose. So yeah, Frost.
That's some high SPF sunblock.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. What brand is that?
It's SPF 4000. Frost takes over the vampire business. Then back at the Blade cave, he gives Whistler the hard drive he took from the vamps.
Also, this is one of the other vampires. The vampire that they killed, his last name was Dragon Eddie.
Yes.
Right.
Which at first I thought was Dragon Eddie.
Dragon.
But apparently it's one word. It's like it's Italian. Hey, it's Dragon Eddie.
Dragon Eddie.
Yeah, not like yo.
He'll light you on fire.
Not like yo. It's Dragon Eddie.
Yeah.
So, he gives Whistler the hard drive he took from the vamps, and Karen shows him a drug that makes vampire blood explode. She takes a sample of Blade's blood, and Blade tells her that Whistler is dying of cancer. Later,
she shows off the EDTA serum that she has, which is an anticoagulant, which makes vampire blood explode.
Yes.
It was a cute little sequence when he like went to go look in the Microscope.
Yes.
When he went to go look in the microscope. I am a scientist. I know what a microscope is, damn it.
Yes, you do.
And yeah, it explodes in his face. It was cute.
Yeah, it was. Whistler confronts Karen, revealing he knows she's turning into a vampire. They didn't get her the serum quickly enough. Later still, Blade goes for a walk in Chinatown. He's confronted by Frost in a park wearing sunscreen. Frost has taken...
On his eyeballs.
Yes, on his eyeballs. Frost has taken a little girl hostage. He offers Blade a truce, but Blade refuses and reveals that he knows Frost's plan to bring forth the blood god. Frost runs away and Blade rescues the little girl who can only stare at buses as they come towards her instead of standing up and running.
As one does in movies.
Yes.
Right.
I got
when confronted by buses.
Movie after
takes so
movie
long.
after movie.
Like, I can't process this.
Back at the hideout, Karen injects herself with the cure for vampirism she just apparently invented right now. and so she's fine. And then
But it won't work on Blade.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Yep. I've been using it.
I bet you have. Then she's immediately captured by Frost and his
Inject it
homies.
right into my penis. Sorry, what? What are we talking about?
So Karen,
Cure for vampirism.
That now.
As one does.
All the other veins are tapped out, man, from other cures for various illnesses.
Like, do you suffer from mild vampirism? Try Lunesta.
I went to Trump University. What can I say?
Yeah, with your degree.
I think Lunesta is for werewolfism.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. The moon.
Right in the main vein, man.
is there is there anything for juggaloism?
Fago.
No, still no.
Just Fago.
No, still no.
Check the Fago. It doesn't help.
No, Al's right.
It might kill you.
Yeah, it makes it worse. So
that's the other gathering of the Juggalos is when it's just the scientists trying to figure out a way to eradicate Juggalo eugenics.
So, all right. So,
I got too raw for you.
Are you breeding juggalos over there, Josh?
I don't know. Now you'll never know.
So, Karen.
I mean, eventually,
all of
will
his little dogs are juggalos.
Yeah, exactly. They're always like, woo, woo.
You paint their faces for them every day.
Every day I do it for them. They have nowhere to go.
They haven't figured out magnets yet.
No, just like a real juggalo. All right.
A mother's love. Can't explain that. So Frost and his homies capture Karen and they fuck up Whistler pretty good. Then Blade comes home, finds Whistler almost dead and Karen gone. Whistler tells him that Frost is trying to start a vampire apocalypse, but he needs Blade's blood. Whistler kills himself, or maybe he doesn't, as Blades 2 and 3
that was an intense
lead me
scene.
to believe.
So, like, walk away, and that was pretty intense.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
It lost a little importance when we find out that he's not dead.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then
just like
in the
what
next
happened
Blade
with
movie,
Kennedy.
not in this one. But
When we found out Kennedy wasn't dead.
Totally sourness on him.
Yeah, I mean, when he came back in that fucking mech suit.
He was like, he was Spiro Agnew, take that.
Right.
Mecha Kennedy. Okay, so Blade watches a video dating message from Frost.
come up and see me sometime.
Yeah.
Frost is like, and this is my audition tape for the Real World San Francisco.
Exactly.
So Blade
Blade meditates, then kills a plant.
Yeah, what did he have against that plant?
I don't know what that plant was. But he chopped the roots right off after meditating.
Yeah.
Like, I have achieved perfect peace. Take that, bitch.
Meditating on all the things that he hates, bro.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to say. He had a bad meditation. Didn't go well.
So, all right.
He's just hyped. He's ready to kill vampires.
Yeah. He weapons up and heads out. Meanwhile,
maybe the plant was a vampire.
Oh,
yeah.
A plant. A
I don't think that's possible.
Go on.
you don't think it's possible?
It didn't look like a blood orange. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Meanwhile, back at his place, Frost is just chilling with Karen, not even listening to music. Can you imagine just sitting there in silence on a couch with two vampires who just kidnapped you for like 3 or 4 hours as Blade like meditates and get his weapons ready?
Plant.
Yeah, breaks his plan.
No, I can't imagine.
Karen taunts him and he gets mad and tells her the entire world will be turned into vampires. Blade arrives and takes out the vampire SWAT team. They had like the cameras on him and everything. Then kills a couple vampire ninjas with the blood exploding juice. Which is what I call Long Island iced teas.
Exploding juice.
There was a funny little scene with Quinn and Frost when Quinn was trying to explain dangerous. Just like he's got shit he throws at you and the sword and he throws it up in the air. He catches it underneath. Yeah, shut up.
Ooh, he does? He catches it underneath? Ooh, wow. Shut up.
It was some good chemistry between these two actors, between Dorf and Logue.
Was this the Lord of the Rings?
Dorf and Logue.
Dorf and Logue.
So Blade arrives in Frost's ridiculously well-lit bedroom, where his space bed opens up to reveal Blade's mom. She's a vampire, and the one that bit her and turned baby Blade into a daywalker was Frost all along.
What?
Does that make him his father?
Kinda.
Godfather? His vampire godfather?
I see.
Does he still have to get him a gift every year?
He prefers to be called a vamp daddy.
Vamp daddy.
Vamp daddy.
So yeah, Frost.
That's gonna be on my bare midriff shirts.
I was gonna say I'm gonna put that on my resume. Vamp daddy.
I'm getting a tramp stamp of it.
Yeah.
In like old English letters.
For someone else to read.
I'm gonna buy a tattoo gun. You want to come over once all this quarantine is over?
Oh, sure.
And get a vamp daddy tat? I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my LinkedIn profile as soon as we're done here.
Vamp daddy.
Or you're just going to block all of us.
Frost shows up with a bunch of vampire guys and they tase Blade into unconsciousness. Blade wakes up in the back of a truck with Karen, tells her he might take the cure she created if he gets out of this alive, but she tells him if he does, he'll lose all his powers. Like Superman in Superman 2.
And he's all, fine, I'll do it.
For a woman.
Don't you want to think? No.
I'm just going to do it and not think about anything. For a woman. They arrive at an underground.
I hope you don't run into a trucker afterwards.
Them truckers hate ex-superheroes that sit in their seats. They arrive at an underground vampire temple, so they're in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when was this temple built? Were they like Because they say it's been forgotten. So apparently, like, the vampires arrived in California well before the Spaniards.
Yeah, they got the citrus thing going.
Yeah.
The blood oranges.
Yeah. And regular.
And avocados. Okay, so Frost has the heads of the vampire.
I think they built this around when, they started Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do they?
I mean, because in this movie, they're everywhere and have been everywhere, and they run businesses and own business.
I guess it seemed pretty ancient, though.
Yeah.
Hollywood's older than it looks.
That is true.
Maybe that's who all the movie moguls bought their land from.
Wait, was this in L.A.?
Well, I mean, it was clearly shot in L.A. Like, the buildings, that was L.A. Whether it was supposed to be set in L.A., I don't know.
Because there's also a subway system. There's no subway in
No
subway in
there
LA.
is a subway in LA.
Is there? Totally a subway in LA.
It's not popular like it is in other cities, and that's actually kind of been a joke for a few decades now, how unpopular the LA subway system is.
Expensive. Yeah.
I just thought with all the earthquakes and stuff, it would be a bad idea.
Yeah, it is.
They did it anyway.
But that's never stopped us before.
No, and there's movie themed stuff. There's like a yellow brick road which leads down into the subway. So
all right, I mistook this for New York.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely shot in L.A. Like the skylines, all of that is definitely L.A. and in research it was filmed in L.A.
All right, okay, cool.
So anyways, let's see. They arrive in the underground temple. Frost has the heads of the vampire families from the boardroom scene earlier. He does a 3-beat with pretending to want to cut off Quinn's hand. Then he mistakes the blood-exploding syringes for Blade serum and throws them into the ceremonial pit below. Good thing he didn't smash him. They take Blade and the pureblood vampires away to prepare for the ceremony. And they throw Karen into a pit with her old boyfriend from the hospital scene in the first act.
Karen.
She kicks his ass, crawls out of the pit with a sharpened femur, and then Blade shares an inappropriately intimate moment with his mother, and then is encased in carbonite, where he's bled from the wrists, which drips into the pit where Frost awaits. When he's down like in the middle of the thing and it starts like the blood and everything starts getting going and everything, Quinn runs over and rips open Steven Dorff's shirt for him so that it'll flap in the breeze.
I may be a vamp, but I'm very familiar.
So, the pureblood vamps are arranged in the ceremonial pit. Karen escapes and frees Blade. He's weakened from the blood loss, and she urges him to drink her blood. He refuses at first, but then the stuff starts to happen in the ceremonial chamber as Blade's blood drips down, and Blade finally drinks from Karen. So there were vampire human skeleton bat hybrids crawling out of their skeletons crawled out of them. Is that?
Yeah.
I thought that was a metaphor.
They're metaphorical skeletons crawled out of them.
They're vampire souls?
I guess.
Sure.
Because they're pure.
Yeah.
It was like just the vampire virus itself or something.
And that manifested by skeletons crawling out of their bodies.
You know that feeling when your skeleton crawls out of your skeleton.
Totally.
Yeah. We've all been there.
So, all right. So, Blade's mom arrives and they fight as the ceremony kicks into high gear. The lightning does the skeleton crawl out of body thing and enter Frost, giving him superpowers. Blade kills his mom, then goes to the ceremony to kill a bunch of vamps with Karen's help.
This is like fucking Greek tragedy, bro. He kills his mom, and that guy has skeletons flying inside of him and shit. It's beautiful.
Spooky skeletons.
What the fuck? This movie ended so weird.
So apparently they reshot it too. The original one had Blade, I think, fighting like a whirlwind of like ghost vampire energy.
Oh wow!
Yes, I watched the alternate ending on the DVD. It was like a whirlwind of blood. La Magra was just like a giant whirlwind of blood, which occasionally Steven Dorff would pop out and talk to Blade.
A Dorff in the box.
So I wonder what they did. Did they block it differently? Or they're just like, we're gonna have you fight your mom instead. So come back for reshoots. We're gonna have you fight your mom.
No,
it's gonna be real dramatic. Or was that still in the movie?
That was still in the movie. This
Weird.
was like, we haven't gotten to the death of Deacon Frost yet.
Yeah, so instead of the Deacon Frost fight, it was the blood whirlwind fight.
He just fought a puddle of blood.
Yeah, Deacon Frost turns into a giant like cloud of blood. Blows around it.
He's all play Misty for me.
Okay, so
yeah, ultimately this ending was better than what they originally had planned.
Apparently they didn't change it until it tested badly. So
correct.
All right. So they sword fight. Blade slices Deacon's hand off and cuts his body in half, but thanks to his new powers, Frost just reattaches himself.
There was a cool bit where before he got to Frost, Blade rips a guy's throat out and throws it. I don't know if anybody caught that.
Yeah. This movie earned its R.
Yeah, and that sword fight, the sword fighting, the choreography is amazing. They went so hard and so fast. It was better than some of the prequel lightsaber fighting. Crazy.
No, it looked really good. Like that's what I'm saying is this movie seemed like it was from a different era than like Batman and Robin and like the shit we've been watching.
There were a lot of disparate parts that they pulled together at the end that worked really well.
Like this movie came out less than a year after Steel. So like,
right. Yeah. They don't even compare.
So he So Blade notices the exploding blood vials in a crack and manages to get them. He kicks them into Frost. Frost explodes. Blade and Karen climb out of the pit. Blade decides he's going to stay the Daywalker as there are a lot of vamps to kill. We cut to Moscow a year later. Vampires are being mean to a girl. Good thing Blade's there. They're just bullying her. They're not even going to eat her.
Yeah, it's creepy, but yeah, exactly.
And that's it. That's the end.
Blood.
I love blood. That's Blade.
So the internet thought I wanted to see pictures of Ruben Blades, the Latino actor. I typed in Blade, and it was like, do you mean Ruben Blades?
I'd be like, well, if you think so, maybe I do.
Yeah, sure. Let's look.
You'll never know. Why is Danny DeVito so short?
Why is Shaquille O'Neal so tall?
The universe has many secrets.
It does.
It was a repost of a repost, but I saw a post that was just someone's Facebook status was, my dog died, like if you agree.
Like if you agree.
It's just like I don't know. I just don't know.
I'll take your word for it.
Will that make you feel better?
Agree. It's an agreed upon thing.
If we don't agree, does it not become real?
Right.
What's your angle, guy?
Out with it.
All
right.
So Blade, it wasn't bad.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
let's put this somewhere on this list with some other movies.
I mean, it's sort of like The Crow, and that was like it definitely is a genre movie, but it does it well.
Yeah,
I would argue that this movie was better than The Crow. That's just my opening salvo.
I agree with you. I think it's better than.
What do you think, Al?
I would concur. I think.
Okay.
It was a tighter movie.
Yeah.
As good as The Crow was, it was. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, the Crow was good, but Blade had a cleaner through line, and it was doing something with its form that The Crow wasn't. None of the action in The Crow was amazing. Like the action in Blade compared to everything we've been watching was like, wow, this is a real step up.
Yeah, this movie dazzled with the action.
Yeah, totally.
And a different style of soundtrack, but still like just a high quality sound throughout.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
So what number is The Crow?
The Crow is at number 4.
Oh, fuck.
Some people believe.
And what's at number 3?
Batman Returns. Is this better than Batman Returns?
Which one was Batman Returns?
The one with the penguin.
That's the one with the penguin.
Yes, I would argue that this is better than Batman Returns.
I mean, it was probably
as much as I like Danny DeVito.
I love Batman Returns in a lot of ways, and Batman Returns was a very auteur kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Blade definitely had a tighter story. I don't know. It's hard for me to say whether it's better or not. Because Batman Returns has a place in my heart as a kid that Blade does not. But
same, yeah.
Blade though also had a digital effects supervisor at Digiscope whose name was Dion Hatch, which is just really cool. It's just a really cool name. I don't know if that deserves any points in the ranking.
Okay.
But Dion Hatch.
Good old Dion Hatch.
Go on.
All right. So who votes for putting it above Batman Returns and who votes for putting it below Batman Returns?
I'll vote for above Batman Returns.
Okay, I'll go with above.
You'll go with above Batman Returns?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Josh is like, I don't give a fuck about anything. Let's get out of here.
I think so. Yeah.
Al?
Oh, damn it. I don't know.
I don't know. Which way are you leaning, Thoreau? Because I could either like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back. I'm sorry. I like Batman Returns more.
Okay. Al.
God damn, Danny DeVito's in that movie. It makes it hard to beat.
It does. Al. Where are you
Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
She's amazing.
That's true.
Well, and like Thoreau said, it has a more important place in my personal. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. So do we want to put this at number 4?
I'm down with 4.
Sure.
Can you live with that, Brian?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right. Putting Blade.
I tried.
I also just don't like, because if we put it above Batman Returns, then that would be right below Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
And
come on, bro. You know you really like where it should be at number 3.
Yeah.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right. We're putting it at number 4.
Okay.
That's a perfectly respectable spot for Blade to be in.
I really don't care, but I'm glad.
I'm just glad it's above Swamp Thing.
I'm just glad to be here.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad Swamp Thing's moved on.
Where's Swamp Thing? Just
Swamp.
Well, now it's at number 8.
Yeah, Swamp Thing's at 8
that's
now.
good. Out of how many? What's the total number here?
This was the 39th. 39th. Our 39th one. Next week is number 40. Number 40 coming in next week, and our last movie of the 90s.
Oh, wow. It's going to be
What is it?
Millennium.
Next week is Ben Stiller's Mystery Men.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yes, that's fun. And it will bring us a little piece of pop culture ephemera that has still taken the internet by storm today. Although it's not associated with that film. Anybody know?
No.
Well, I somebody once told me.
Smash
So Smash Mouth enters into the mainstream of movie soundtracks?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Weird.
If you watch the video, Ben Stiller and everybody, they are in that video. It was made for that film.
I'm sure. Yeah. Anyway.
I thought it was made for Shrek.
Yeah, no, Shrek just reused it.
Yeah, they've been out for years.
There weren't any original songs in any of the Shreks.
There was nothing original in any of the Shreks.
I don't know. Puss in Boots.
Story, characters, nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fairy tales.
That was
anyways. Yeah. Anyway.
So, that's next week here on Harmless Phosphorescence Mystery Men. That's it for us this week. This has been Naughty Vampire God Thoreau Smiley.
I am Josh Cece, and you can find me at the Edgewood Towers.
I'm Brian Lesh, and remember, we're all just vampire food.
God damn it, I can't hear you. The thirst has got me now. I'm Alaric Weber.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Harmless Phosphorescence was brought to you by executive producers Atticus Burkett and Michael Beckwith, and producers Alyssa Dent, Hedda Paulson, and Jojo Birchtree. Harmless Phosphorescence is a production of the Harmless Entertainment Network.